What is something you will never be able to tolerate? The sound of my own voice on a recording. Mine sounds like someone high-pitched my voice and is mocking me. I hate that bitch on recordings. She's so rude. When the page doesn't fully load by the time you click on something, then bam it does and everything was shifted and look, you just clicked on an ad and you're being redirected to a new page. People that enter somewhere busy like a Costco, find the worst choke point like the exit, then stand there and go through their bag looking for a napkin or some other shit. Move to the side. There are dozens of people trying to pass you. Okay, the amount of full-grown adults who are unaware of their own surroundings is wild to me. All it takes is like 3 steps to the right or left and you'd be out of the way. Plus slow walkers. Also those certain individuals who just leave their cart in the middle of the aisle or in a busy area. Like, dude, I will move your cart to a place where you can't find it. Don't test me. Geez, I just really hate the grocery store on busy days. There is a surprising amount of people who get off escalators, take 1 step forward and then stop to look where they're going next. It's quite possibly the worst place of all times to stop and block people behind you, cause they cannot take a step back without falling or hurting themselves. Why the duck can't people take the extra 5 steps to move to the side and then look around? It is really not that hard, and I assure you, you won't get completely lost or unable to find your way back. God, this makes me so frustrated, ha. It's not illegal to shout "get the duck out of the way" at them. It should be encouraged, really. It should. Every time you do it and it's justified, everyone around you offers you a high five, and maybe you get a nice badge or something. People who borrow stuff, and never return it. Or damage it and return it. I lent a basically new book to a buddy, and when I got it back it looked like a library book after 40 years. And the thing I don't understand is he never even finished reading it. How did it get so ducked up if you couldn't even be bothered to read it? He probably left it in his car. Yep. A friend of mine borrowed my copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide, left it on the dashboard of his car for a month, didn't read it, and returned it to me with the glue dissolved and the pages falling out. I borrowed a copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide, and accidentally ruined it. So I went out to buy him a new copy of the book. Exactly the thing to do. I have a friend who lent another friend of mine his textbooks and he got them back dog-eared and stained. Hopefully that particular copy didn't have special sentimental value to the other person, but honestly I wouldn't borrow or let someone borrow something that did. People who cut in line, impatient, inconsiderate motherduckers that they are. People in a position of power being an assholeanesty to people below them for no reason. Not covering your mouth when you cough. I cough into my elbow so as to not get germs on my hands, but everyone thinks I'm dabbing all the time. Just before you cough say yeet so they know that you are dabbing, instead of just thinking. People who don't indicate when driving. I am now driving. This guy is great. Being rude to employees. Look, the 18-year-old kid working at McDonald's is not the one setting the price for your nuggets. The Geek Squad technician would probably prefer to not be here right now. You are not the most important person in the Applebee's waitress life today, and you will likely be forgotten about once you leave. You, as a customer, aren't that ducking important. And you being pissed off about anything is likely out of the control of anyone who makes minimum wage plus. Literally, people do not seem to understand that being a decent and considerate person will make you and the employee's time more bearable. As someone who has worked in customer-facing jobs for years, this pisses me off no end. Being a dick to the employees is also how you get the absolute minimum out of them. For real. I used to work returns. If you bring in something not returnable and are nice about it, I will call management or bend some rules to help you out. If you come in raging and calling me a bitch because you don't understand the return policy, I will do the bare minimum to make you go away. I used to work at a movie theater. I've been tending that big batch of popcorn all day. I know where the crumbs are, I know what's been sitting in it since morning, I know which section the heater doesn't quite get to. If you're a dick, you got stale popcorn. People being rude to service staff. I recently left the service industry after 8 years and my stress, anxiety, blood pressure and excess weight have all dropped dramatically. I almost feel like I've been reborn. I just could not take the abuse anymore. Not exactly the same as service, but even retail. I'm very sorry you spilled coffee all over your brand new laptop and I didn't explicitly tell you while I sold it to you that your soon to be brand new laptop was not waterproof. But I'll just sit here while you literally poke me in the chest and scream in my face because I'm on the clock. If you would like to discuss this somewhere sometime when I'm not on the clock where we can discuss the extent of your apparent lack of basic knowledge of the modern world, let me know. People who are completely unaware of their surroundings. I'm talking about Karen who puts their cart diagonally in the aisle and blocks you from getting through and makes it seem like a huge inconvenience that they had to move their cart. I will move people's carts if they have done this. Easy fix, no need for any passive or overt aggression from anyone. Karen usually gets mad, but you can just keep walking. I like putting expensive non-perishable items in their cart when they aren't looking. Hello 2-pack of 128 gigs of RAM. And, it's small enough where they wouldn't notice it if they have other stuff in the cart. This makes me want to go shopping right now. I'm a pretty mellow guy until my earphones get yanked out of my ears. Unnecessarily rude individuals. People who walk slowly in front of you on the sidewalk or in hallways. And they manage to meander to get in your way still when you are trying to overtake them. I'm got annoyed just reading this edit. Got should have been conjugated as getting, I was too annoyed to grammar. Lactose, I'm lactose intolerant. I was lactose intolerant. Then I developed the gut enzymes to tolerate it, then I got sick and lost them all. Now I'm lactose intolerant again. Animal abuse. There is a special place in hell for these people. People who make fun of overweight people exercising. Of course, people shouldn't judge others by the way they look. So making fun of an overweight person is already bad. But when I hear someone making fun of an overweight person who's exercising, it makes me really angry. I usually feel the need to give a lecture about life to the wannabe joker. I am not here to protect overweight people or advocate FA. I just know that in my country, life is better for you if your BMI is somewhere between 19 and 25. And I know that while almost always possible, it's not easy to lose weight. So why the hell should people make fun of someone who's engaging a tough journey to get better? I was a fat guy. I took up exercising. I'm now less fat. I see a large lady out power walking when I run home from work. She always runs with her head down and doesn't look up as she shuffles along. I really wish she could know how much respect I have for her. Making that first step to leave your house and start exercising is such a tough thing to do. I would procrastinate to avoid going as much as I could. She's out there and she's doing it. Speed doesn't matter, time doesn't matter. She's actually doing it, and that's all that matters. Edit, many people are saying I should tell her. Not a chance. When I started out I just wanted to be ignored. I didn't want to attract attention in any way. If anyone had tried to talk to me, despite the headphones, even to say something positive, I would have been mortified that they had even noticed that I was a fat guy running. Upvoted you because of edit. The best way is to acknowledge that by smiling if she ever makes an eye contact. Exactly. You know the best way to respect an overweight person out exercising? Treat them like everybody else out exercising. Animal and child abuse. Edit, you people really like twisting what I'm saying. I don't condone any kind of abuse. Those are the two kinds of abuse that popped into my head first. Also, no, I'm not vegan and I don't have any plans to stop eating meat. I'm not going to go back and forth with anyone on this, because quite frankly I don't care. If you don't like then oh well, that sounds like a personal problem. Your opinion doesn't mean anything to me, random strangers. People that don't pick up their dog's shit. Sometimes, I get it, your dog is off leash and you didn't see it. But keep an eye on your dog and pick that shit up. Edit, since this is a fairly widespread misconception, I figured I would clarify and correct, dog poop is not a fertilizer. The food we feed them means that their poop is toxic and kills plants. When you see patches of brown on a field or lawn, this is likely why. Source: